I think we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. I'm a little late as technology was glitching. I'm just going to offer some healing energy until people show up so that this can be a general healing for anyone who watches it afterwards. And I also would like to give a shout out to Russell Rigsby for giving a donation on the last live stream. Really appreciate your donations. They assist me to put food on the table and to keep creating this healing sanctuary where I'm currently working. Hi, Al. Hi from California. So I'm guessing it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or are we 7 hours different on a Sunday? Today, I wanted to just say that this healing energy is, I acknowledge that all healing comes from the divine. I work with spirit guidance. I will never counter Western medicine advice. This is not a replacement for Western medical advice. And somebody recently, I'm sorry if I don't know who you are, but mentioned a comment on the last live stream, and they were asking about my advice around a heart replacement and not wanting to go forward with a procedure. And again, I will never counter a doctor's medical advice. I will assist people to kind of find in themselves what feels true for them. I am a believer of miracles. I have seen many miracles in people's recovery and health, but also with something as dire and severe as a heart replacement. Your life is on the line, and it's doctors are going to advise, and they're only going to offer that procedure if you've got somebody who can care for you afterwards. It's actually now pretty run-of-the-mill procedure, whereas 10, 15, 20 years ago it was a big hoo-ha. Now a lot of people are having this procedure, so it is a standard practice. And for the person that was asking about that, I would just have you consider, obviously if you don't have it, you're going to die, with a slim chance of a miracle. But then there's the chance of extending your life and how you feel about having another person's organ in your chest. So that's the reconciliation in yourself that you're coming into awareness with. The small chance of a miracle, and there's a beautiful book. I'll put it in the comments afterwards. I've forgotten the name of it. Anita Mouge, I think, and she basically died and came back, and she was fully healed. So I think while there is life, there is hope, and that I do believe that there's all sorts of amazing things that are happening for people in their healing worlds. Joe Dispenza, he's also another amazing, incredible healer that can offer all kinds of support in that way. So there are options, but if you've run out of time and it's D-Day in terms of you have to have this now, that's what you're looking for, to that reconciliation in yourself of, do I take that chance for that miracle, or do I take the medical advice and give me 5-10 more years, obviously if there's no complications, all of those factors. That's what you need to reconcile in yourself. I just wanted to address that because somebody did ask on the last live stream and their comment disappeared, and I cannot give your name because I don't have the comment anymore. But it sat with me, and I just wanted to speak to it. So moving on, Al, since you are here, since you're the only one here, if you have any healing requests, by all means, mention them. And the more specific you are, the better. If I have specifics, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual, or all of the above, I can really zero in and give kind of a surgical precision answer. And also wanted to say that anybody who comes to a live stream, if you are in the chat mentioning your health conditions or your issues or things like that that are going on for you, just to remind you that this is a public forum, this is a public broadcast, so your participation is your consent to have me look into your health. So having said that, we're just going to offer a beautiful healing for anybody who shows up. Just go ahead and take a beautiful deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again. Last one. And just add my prayer that this virtual digital space is sacred. Calling on the archangels Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Metatron, Gabriel, Nathaniel, Melchizedek, and all of the other archangels. Great Spirit, Creator, Beloved, God, Goddess, ask that the energy coming through is healing and beneficial to anybody who receives, anybody who is open to receive. All you need to do is say yes or nod and say, I accept. You don't have to believe, just have an open mind and an open heart that the energy coming through from the divine is in fact very real and palpable. Al, you get a private session today. Since you lost 2 people in 2021 and you're grieving the loss. So this is for anybody who's lost somebody they love. And whether they died or whether they left or whether a relationship imploded or whatever the circumstances. This is for you. So here's what I've come to understand about grief. I'll speak a little bit from my own experience and then I will bring through what's pertinent for you, Al. I lost my father about 2.5 years ago, and he was very dear to me. And when I've worked with a lot of other people around grieving and loss, I've worked with a woman who lost an infant, for example. The read I would get on that situation is that whatever is incomplete, whatever is unsaid, whatever is unresolved in your relationship with that person when they pass, that's what you're reconciling. That's what is holding the grief in place. So obviously, if you can allow yourself to express and feel the feels, for some people that's difficult. For some people it's hard to access those emotions. And they may bubble up when you least expect it. The thing about grief is it comes in a wave, and you think you're done and then you'll get another wave. And then you think you're done and you'll get another wave. And don't let anybody tell you that it's not okay to feel, because feeling is healing. And when you allow yourself to express, when you allow yourself to feel the feels, when you allow yourself to sink really deep into those emotions, even if they're uncomfortable, by allowing them to be expressed, you are literally healing your heart. You're literally healing yourself. The nature of emotions, the nature of grief is a wave, and it comes in waves. It's water, and water travels in waves, right? Water through the eyes, water through the nose. So as you allow yourself to grieve, I'll go ahead and place your hand on your heart, right? Because you're having trouble letting go. You're having trouble reconciling and processing the intensity and the heaviness of that weight. So I just saw a big spider in the corner of my eye. So I'm going to say that spider medicine is here, and spider medicine is weaving the web, right? So consider that whatever web was woven in your relationship to these people, the thin, gossamer, virtually invisible threads that we weave in relationship, that's what you're working with. And sometimes relationships create a very sticky, tangled web, right? There's different kinds of web, sometimes just barely visible, some are thick and tangled and fully encompassing, right? So becoming aware of the web that these people wove in relationship to you. And I sense that one owl was quite sticky and a thick weave and quite suffocating even. So we're just going to disappear. We're going to dissolve that web. So that you can actually see life outside of that cocoon, like you've been kind of cocooned in that. I'm going to make a tone. This is going to be a little loud, so just bear with me. So for anyone who finds himself in a sticky, tangled web of grief. Okay, that web, that sticky web off that one person, whether that rings true, I'm suspecting that the person is clear in your mind who that sticky web was from. That is cleared. Be mindful, excuse me, be mindful that the ruminating thoughts that you may have in relation to that person may recreate the sticky web. So your healing is about identifying the ruminating thoughts that are unresolved with that person so that you can clear them. And if there's judgment or guilt or shame or anger or sadness, whatever emotion is tied into that ruminating thought, we're just gonna pull that out right now, okay? Because these thoughts in relation to the person who's passed over creates like a static or a noise or an interference in your field, and that perpetuates and accentuates the emotional feelings. That perpetuates the heaviness of the grief. So by becoming aware of the thoughts in relation to the person who's passed over that are ruminating and kicking around, and affirming, for example, if you have judgment about, like, I should have done this differently, or I wish I had said that. So instead of ruminating about what you should have done or could have done differently, say it now. I love you, or I'm sorry, or I wish I had been able to do this with you, or if only speak to spirit, speak to creator, speak it in a way that brings you closure. And you may have to say it a few times a day. You may have to say it 1,000 times a day, but what you're giving yourself is some closure, and you're literally clearing the interference in your field, because then what's available to you once that interference and that mental noise is cleared is a beautiful connection to that person in spirit. And the bridge and connection to that person in spirit, or two people in this case, is the love that you felt for that person. That love travels on a wave like a rainbow bridge to meet the being who is now in spirit. They're no longer incarnate. They're no longer in earthly form. They have shifted, transformed, alchemized from the body into spirit. And this is holding on to the belief or knowledge or understanding that the spirit is eternal, right? Spirit doesn't die. So the spirit of the person who you lost is in everything. They're in all consciousness right now. So you can access a relationship with them. It's different because you can't hold their hand and you can't give them a hug and you can't have a cup of tea, but you can relate and connect to that person in spirit. So anybody who has ancestors passed over, or friends or loved ones, there is actually a really sweet and beautiful opportunity to have that person be one of your guides, right? So clear the mental noise, allow yourself to feel the feels, allow yourself to feel the grief, allow yourself to feel deeply. And for me, that's something that's going to happen only when I'm solo, when I'm in nature, or if there's no distractions around me. I'm going to go deep, and I'm going to feel the feels, and then I'm going to release them, and then I'm going to be free of them, right? It's not about wallowing in them, it's about feeling them. So as you release those feelings, you will feel lighter. Just like when a storm comes in, a big thunderstorm, and it dumps a bunch of rain, and then afterwards everything smells really fresh, and the air is kind of enlivened and electric, and there's a rainbow and the sun comes out. That's the nature of grief. Like it dumps a big dump of rain, and then it lifts the energy, and all the birds start chirping because they're ecstatic. It's the same process. So if you can allow yourself to feel and do that. But that already feels very different, Al, because I do feel like that sticky web was kind of suffocating around you. So be aware moving forward in the next few days that things may feel a little different. Give yourself 3 days, because when an energy imprint like this presents itself and is cleared, it does take about 3 days to integrate. And in that 3 days, you may find yourself being a hot, discombobulated mess, and that's okay, right? Just give yourself the space to be that hot, discombobulated mess. It's okay, because you are releasing, you're healing, you're processing, and you're letting go. I also encourage you to, even if there was a wake or a funeral or some kind of thing, if it didn't feel like enough, there's a lot of things that you can do to actually physically let go. Encourage yourself to let go. Whether it's pouring, I found a little river rock, for example, pouring all of your sadness, all of your thoughts, all of your unresolved issues, all of your unsaid things, and throwing them into a lake or the ocean or a body of water, or burying it in the ground. Because what you're doing is you're releasing the energy and you're giving it back to the earth. Or another thing is to write everything on a piece of paper and burn it in a fire, right? You're alchemizing and transforming and letting go all of the feelings, all of the unfinished business, all of the things that you didn't get closure with. So that's a lot right there for you to work with, Al, and I wish you the best of luck. And feel free to reach out to me in the days that come and let me know how you're going with that. So I see that there's other people here, and I encourage you to, if you've come on after I was in mid talk with Al, I would just reaffirm that this is an opportunity, the live streams, to ask questions and answers, ask questions and for me to give answers. If you have anything where in your life where you're feeling stuck or stagnant, if you're banging your head against the wall and kind of in a repeat pattern mode, or if you just are simply lost and confused about the way forward. And it could be in relation to your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, or your physical health. And if you're feeling brave and you would like to voice and mention here, then you can receive the focus. I consider the channel to be open from the very angelic realms here to receive healing energy for your specific question. And if nobody pipes up, Al, thank you for being brave and courageous and receiving that, because it does create a shift in your energy field and things should lighten up for you. So I hope that you can go and have a really good cry, basically. And because nobody else is asking any questions, I'm just going to tune in and see what's wanted and needed energetically for the collective. First of all, I'm going to pull an epiphany card. The greater the pain, the greater the wisdom. That may be pertinent for you, Al. I can speak to that one as well in my own experience. As somebody who has taken a lot of knocks, there's always wisdom in the times that are incredibly tough, right? There's always wisdom, there's always knowledge, there's always deep awareness that can be cultivated and worked with through any difficult challenge. And I mean that most sincerely, whether it's, a life-threatening disease, or whether it's, a loss of a loved one, or any kind of intense challenge in your life. There's opportunity to learn and grow and gain wisdom. So, just know that through the loss, through the intensity, already what's being shared here is going to open you up to higher levels of consciousness, right? That's what's available through any challenging time. You can literally expand your awareness. So, Al, since you've been seeking more spiritual stuff, well, thank you to your loved ones who passed over. Here's the gift. Here's the gift in the passing, is it's going to open you in a way that you didn't know was humanly possible for. Definitely when you experience a big heartbreak, like any kind of loss, as you pick up the pieces, as you come back to yourself, as you come back to wholeness, there's so many gifts in the pain. So hi Zara, welcome. Zara, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? You feel like a very light being. You feel like there's a lot of effervescence in your field. All right, so for the collective, what are we bringing through? We're bringing through energy for the heart. So go ahead and just bring your focus and attention to the heart. I feel like everybody needs some love for the heart right now. Bring your awareness to the fact that your heart is beating in your chest. You can place your hand there if you want to feel it. Just give your heart some love from the universe, from the divine, right? And the message that comes through is that you've got this. And it's going to be okay. When you're stronger than you think, just be aware of the beating heart and all that you're holding in your heart right now, yeah? The heaviness that you're feeling for what's going on in the world, if you're aware of that, the heaviness that you're feeling for your community, for your friends, for anybody that you know is suffering. Go and bring your awareness and attention to that for a moment. For any pain that you're holding from your childhood, from your life, all the hits you've taken, all the broken parts, all the things that didn't work out, all the relationships that went astray, all the mistakes you've made, all the times you've beaten yourself up, all the times you've felt unworthy or not good enough, all of these things that you're holding in your heart that don't serve you, right? That don't serve you. So we're just going to bringing them into our awareness. We're gathering them up. We're bundling them up here. All of the heaviness, all of the weight, all of the discord, all of the fractiousness, the sadness, the hurt feelings, or the being the hurt person, the one doing the hurting. And bundle this up. Thinking about all the things in your life that you're holding, right? Emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. All of these things in your life. And we're bundling them up and we're going to offer them to Creator. So here we are, all of the energy, the heaviness, the weight. And in a moment, we're going to transmute it. If you're still adding to the pile, you can keep adding later. And on the count of 3, we're going to release it back into the source of all creation. 1, 2, take a deep breath. And exhale, 3. Go ahead and place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath, a beautiful deep breath. And we're just going to allow, in this time, we're going to sit and meditate together for a moment. I'm just going to allow the love, divine love, source of all creation, God, Goddess, beloved, Great Spirit, love from the universe to fill the heart. Where once there was heaviness, now there's light. Yeah? Bringing in the light. This piece of music is called Merkaba. So as we're meditating and filling the heart full of divine, loving light from universe, from Creator, Feel that this divine, loving light is bringing you into your center, activating the Merkaba around you, the cosmic sacred geometry, energy imprint of wholeness. And this is inspiring me to do a session just on the Merkaba. That feels quite different already. So, my loves, I see that there's a few more people here. If anyone has any healing requests, now's your time. I will go live again. But the window's open, the portal's open, the channel's open right now, right here. And if you're feeling courageous and you'd like to inquire about what energy you can shift in your life to heal, to transform old patterns that don't serve you anymore, now's your chance. And thank you to those that have spoken up. And just sit a moment in silence. And just feeling the very angelic beings here right now, present. Beautiful, beautiful angel love here. Right, my loves. We'll sign off. Zara. Snuck in there. Thanks for your courage. Still need help and healthy and a lot of anger. It's all right. Don't worry. I'm here. That's why I'm here. It's my directive right now. So working with anger. You feel hated. Okay. So when anybody is projecting hatred or negative energy at you, and you're a sensitive, empathic being, which I suspect you are, whether it's actual, physical, vocal, or, any kind of violence, and you also feel hatred for some people, okay, that's very honest, yeah. It's not a good feeling hatred, right? Anger has a way of returning. that classic saying, what you reap, what you sow. So be mindful if you're receiving anger and hatred and negative energy from people. Take a look at what you have put out, what you are generating. And you can be honest about that, right? Take some time to reflect on your actions, on your words, on the energy that you have been putting out. And sometimes we get a slap in the face and it's reflected to us that our actions have not been conscious in some way, and it's very humbling, right? So when you receive anger or negative energy or hatred of any kind, it causes you to take stock and take a deep, long look at how you've been in the world. And it's not always comfortable to go there. It's not always comfortable to look and see the consequences of your actions. So if you're hating on people, another way to hold that is that these people in your life are a mirror to you. So if you're hating on them, they're reflecting it back to you. Because in the grand cosmic scheme of things, we're all one. We're all one consciousness. We're all individuated beings in a sea of one consciousness, right? And as a soul, as a spirit, as part of the evolution of consciousness, we are waking up planetary wide to the concept and the fact and the reality that if you bash somebody over the head with a stick, you're going to get bashed over the head with a stick back, right? Any war is an example of this. Any fight is an example of this. Any harsh interactions are an example of this. So we are in a heightened state of agitation and war on planet Earth right now, and humans are learning, or not, maybe we won't, we'll see. We're learning, if we can pull out of this, that war and fighting is not the answer. Because you will never win with war. You will never win with hatred. You will never win with fighting. In fact, surrendering to the truth that love is the way forward, love is the answer, love is the supreme victor, is one of the most profound realizations that you can have as a human here on planet Earth. So when you surrender the hatred, when you surrender the fight, when you surrender the anger, it's so liberating. It's so liberating. It's like, okay, I messed up. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. And also that forgiveness of self can happen to the other that is directing negative energy at you. So finding forgiveness for your own, taking responsibility for your own actions, and also finding forgiveness for the other that is directing that at you. So that's a process sometimes, but it starts with reconciliation in yourself and acknowledging your part in the dynamic, right? Coming back to that place of love. So you can't forgive some people and you can't rise above, feeling helpless and powerless. Okay. Some people are so dishonest pretending to help people. So if you can't acknowledge your part, here's another thing about that. If we're in victim mode, if we are feeling attacked, if we are remaining in victim mode, our spiritual evolution grinds to a halt, okay? Because you cannot evolve past being a victim. It's their fault. They did it to me. I'm the one who's been done wronged. Everything is another person's fault. keeps you stuck. That's what's keeping you stuck. I'm going to suggest for a moment that you had a pre-life contract with these people to play this game so that you could realize being the victim is what is needed to be released, the fulcrum for you to have a spiritual expansion and awareness, for you to find healing. When you can let go that pre-life contract, when you can let go those binds, and when you can let go the label of the victim, I've been done wrong here, then you can be free. Then you can evolve. Then you can heal. Then you can take responsibility for your part in it. Okay? Because yes, there are people out there who are very negative and very lacking awareness with the consequences of their actions. The world is full of narcissists. The world is full of people who reject and hostility and anger and don't take responsibility for that. The world is full of people like that. A, remove yourself from people like that. B, put your shields up, boundaries, right? And C, take responsibility for your part in the pre-life contract. Okay, there's a learning there. There's a learning in everything, in every challenge. And even if that is just for you to understand your boundaries, and maybe you've given everything away and there's no respect or no appreciation, it's like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to live my life over here and honor myself for who I am without people who are giving me negative energy. Right? So, Zara, I'm just going to, we've got somebody giving lots of dots. Okay, so we're just going to, Zara, if you can take a deep breath for me. Right now, the things that are coming at you and the negative energy and the disrespect and all of the things that are being projected at you, if you cannot disentangle from these people because you're in a living situation with them, that's tricky. But if you can put physical distance from these people, that's ideal. But right now, we're going to, if you could just take a deep breath for me, to remove the hooks and barbs that are embedded in the tissues of your heart. I'm not talking about physical hooks and barbs. I'm talking about energetic hooks and barbs. Because anytime anybody directs negative energy at you, they're like little darts. Like they appear in people's field as different kind of weapons. And these ones are showing up as little barbs, the barbs like a seed that are covered in little hooks. So we're just going to pull those out of your heart. This is for anybody who's received any kind of negative energy, attack, or anger, or hostility, whether it's verbal, physical, energetic, mental, any kind of psychological abuse. This is going to just pull out any hooks and barbs. All right, take a deep breath for me. You can close your eyes if you like. Okay, there's 3 barbs and there's numerous hooks. So where the where the hooks and barbs are embedded in the soft tissue of the heart, on the inside of the heart, like that's what you've been holding. This is why you're feeling like you can't rise above, because there's all this shrapnel in there. Okay, so with removal of this, just if you actually physically pulled out a blade out of somebody's tissue, there's going to be a staunch an outpouring. Okay, so we're going to staunch the flow. We're going to replace where the energetic imprints were embedded. We're going to replace that with golden energy. Just take another deep breath for me. Zara, there's a lot you're holding in your heart, and I know before we did like a big release of what you're holding in your heart, but these energetic imprints, these hooks and barbs, like just allow yourself some time in nature in the next few days, okay? Because by releasing these energetic imprints, it's going to you may be feeling some big feels, okay? Take yourself away from the people who are directing negative energy and allow yourself to feel the feels, because that's what's going to liberate you. That's what's going to bring you back into yourself. That's what's going to bring you back feeling like you're at home in yourself. And when your sense of self is being restored and you're not constantly under attack, then you can make decisions and choices from that place, right? So just allow yourself to rest. That heart's taken a lot of hits, right? It's taken a lot of hits, as have all our hearts. So just the last piece of this, Sarah, after taking out those hooks and barbs, we're just going to just allow yourself to surrender into love. Okay, surround yourself into love. This should help to pull out those energetic imprints. And the fact that you feel like you're kind of drowning or you can't rise above, we're just going to bring you up from underwater, place you on dry land, okay? You're welcome. Okay, I feel like that is enough for you right now, okay? Because that is a lot. And just to be aware, like I said, there may be a process of catharsis. You may be feeling the feels. You may have a big release energetically because we've just cleared those energy imprints that were embedded in the tissues of your heart. And that's a lot, okay? So if you become a hot, discombobulated mess for the next 3 days, just so be it. It's okay. It will clear. It will pass. Take yourself, rest deeply, drink a lot of water, all right? Nourish yourself, eat good food. The other thing here, Zara, is I feel like because when you first appeared that you are a very sensitive being, just be aware how much energy you're taking on from others. You know, if you're working with other people, it's good for you to have um, your shields up, your boundaries up, your protective field whole. Okay, so if you're like a sponge and you're picking up everybody's pain and negative energy, that's a heavy weight. So you want to find some practices where, like meditation, where your sense of self is whole and strong and your boundaries are strong. Like you've defined your boundaries before you interact with other people. Yeah. I'm going to put in the link to Sarah. I'm going to put a link to Psychic Protection, which is a track that was created for exactly things like psychic attack and negative energy and if you want to go down the path of curses and hexes and spells and things like that, is definitely a practice to create a shield from negative energy. So that's a lot. Stay with that. Keep breathing. Breathe into the heart. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for being here. Zara, I'm moving on because that is a lot. Maureen, yeah, I'm sorry. I've been very hopeless at getting the word out that I'm going to do this. I will get my act together around that at some point. So it's random when I'm appearing. Remind me, Maureen, because I'm in the field of the collective here. Can you remind me, just bring me back? Because I know we've done work. Just tell me what you need help with in this moment. Interestingly enough, this piece of music that just came on is called Transformation. And it's about the transmutation of negative energy. It's about having a breakthrough. It's about when you've suddenly identified the source or the energetic imprint of what is keeping you stuck, and you've alchemized it so that everything changes from that day forward, right? You do the inner work, you get to the core issue, you change and shift the energy on the level of consciousness, and it ripples into your waking experience of reality. Maureen, your digestive tract is in very bad shape. I've lost 50 pounds since January. I can't eat. What's the diagnosis, Maureen? If you're willing to share. Are we looking at your small intestines here? I see a lot of inflammation, and it's like rusty, crunchy inflammation, like the tissues and the lining of the small intestine has become crusty, like a rusty hinge. Like if there's rust on a tool. So I would say the first thing that you're working with is inflammation. So you want to alkalinize the body. You want to bring the body into a state of neutral. If there's high acidity in the body, okay, from the stomach right through. Oof, the stomach is you've taken a big hit to that stomach. It's like a sharp. You feel like you've been impaled. Something's impaled you energetically. Like obviously you haven't had a giant blade through your gut in this life, but I'm feeling like a lot of that is past life stuff. That makes me feel kind of sick. So I'm going to just clear that, Maureen. So can you take a nice deep breath? Okay, so this is across all space and time through all dimensions. Maureen, archangels, can we have a special healing for Maureen through all time dimensions? Ancestral as well. There's an ancestral 7th generation back. One of your ancestors was literally impaled. Deeper than 7th generation. Actually, I feel like it's further back than that. So this is an ancestral wound. So Maureen, by clearing this energy imprint, you are also healing up the line. So the ancestors have gone, whoop, they're all right here. If you can say out loud to yourself, your grandparents, your mother or father, your grandparents, and any names you have up the line, just to acknowledge and recognize that they have literally gone, thunk, they've all come here right now to be here for this moment, for you to receive this healing. So there is a lot of guardianship here. There's a lot of energy here right now for you. Okay, they're all holding their hands up around you, okay? Because as you heal for your ancestors, as you heal yourself, you heal for your ancestors. So they're like cheerleading in the bleachers, in the spirit bleachers. So can you take a close your eyes for a moment? I'm just we'll bring your attention right into your stomach, okay? And take a deep breath. Gonna make a loud bell sound. I feel like this stuck in the throat too here. It feels like like you want to rage. There's a lot of rage tied into that feeling of being impaled. So allow yourself to scream into a pillow. Allow yourself to tone and hum. Just allow that rage to come through the throat chakra. Yeah. With the dissolution and the dissolving of that energy imprint of the big spike through the center of your guts, which is big. Okay, that's big. Just be aware. It may amplify the discomfort for a few days. It may amplify the sensations, just because we're putting the spotlight on it. But with the resolution of that energy imprint, may come a need for deep rest, may come a need for really like letting yourself just do nothing for 3 days, okay? Because that is a very, very big and forceful energetic imprint right there in the stomach. But that has dissipated and dissolved in real time, right here and now. Take another deep breath into the stomach. Okay. And this for anyone who has any kind of digestive issues too, just bringing through the healing energy of the stomach, the small intestines, the large intestines, the esophagus. You see that I keep getting that glitch in the throat. So with the inflammation and the crustiness in the intestines, is you're going to bring through a very soothing, the counterforce, the counterforce to that crusty, rusty inflammation energy is like a soothing, cooling blue, the blue ray. It's like a baby blue, okay? So as you are resting in the next few days, just you want to bring baby blue energy into the stomach, into the intestines, into the large intestines. So regardless of anything, Maureen, that impaled spike has been resolved, okay? The nourishment and nurturing, I don't know if you've got any aloe vera, like that same kind of soothing balm. Ask your doctor, obviously, before you know, I think aloe vera is pretty benign, so I don't think you can do any harm with that. But if you need to question and ask a doctor before you take aloe vera, please do so. It is very nourishing and soothing and healing to the digestive tract, and also anything that is alkaline. So that's superfoods, super greens. If they're too rich, if it agitates, obviously stop. But anything that is soothing to the belly, you could also rub lavender oil on the belly. That's external application. I feel Maureen, like that is enough, because that was big. And I know there's more, obviously, but just the dissolution, the resolution of that spike is enough for today, for you to process and integrate in the days to come. So feel free to reach out to me again. And I will do this again, and I will get my act together. Yes, and sorry about going on a different link if you were waiting on the other thread, because sometimes a little technologically challenged, and being a one-woman band here, don't have help at the moment, so I couldn't get that other live stream link to fly. So Maureen, just take a lovely deep breath to bring that to completion. Okay, beautiful. Jay, hi. I'm glad you've got the book. The further I travel down my spiritual path, my personal life is starting to crumble around me. I'm feeling a little bit lost, directionless and lost. Sometimes it's something is misaligned, but not sure what. Okay, I will say that the spiritual awakening, there's so many memes out there that have a good old laugh about, oh, I was having a spiritual awakening and it was going to be this cruisy ride down the river and it was just so lovely. Generally, spiritual awakenings come and they're forged in the fire, right? Generally, the spiritual awakenings happen when shit gets real, when you're taken down, when your idea of life crumbles, when you think you've got it going on and then slam, everything takes you by surprise. That's where the biggest learnings are. That's where the biggest awakenings happen. So if your life is crumbling, if your former life is crumbling, you're right on track. The thing about a spiritual awakening is that as you evolve, as you raise your vibration, as you expand your awareness, your resonance, your harmonic resonance, your frequency, your biosignature frequency is shifting to be in alignment with your true self, your authentic self, like you're starting to resonate with your essence, with your spirit, with your modus operandi, with your highest destiny. You're coming into alignment. That's the nature of a spiritual awakening, right? So anybody who does not resonate to that frequency, boop, they just get shot out, like spun out of orbit, right? That's friends, that's families, that's lovers, that's children, that's, all workmates, it's home, it's everything that you thought was in alignment or what no longer serves you. It's like taking off an old coat that doesn't fit anymore. So you will find in your spiritual awakening that, yes, friends will go by the way, and work no longer fits, and home maybe no longer fits. Things that don't resonate with the new you fall away. And there may be grief around that because you've been hanging on to things that you thought were in alignment but no longer are. So there's a deep level of trust needed that as you awaken, as you find this new version of you, as you become aware of who you are as a spirit, that you will in fact magnetize and attract your soul tribe, your soul family, right? That others who are resonating on the same vibration, others who are having the same experience of awakening will naturally be drawn to you because that energy is a magnet. So yes, there's grief and sadness for the loss of what was or what you thought was meant to be. But there's also an excitement and a freshness and a newness in the in the next chapter, in the what's around the corner. I just want to walk over this next hill and see what's up there. I encourage you to get up high, and that means get on a hill or a mountain or a skyscraper and see life from a higher perspective, literally a higher perspective, physically a higher perspective. Just go sit and meditate on a hill, right? So that you can see the world below you. So you can get that eagle eye, hawk eye view, because it's going to assist you to literally rise above and look at the world from on high and sit in that place and meditate in that place. And I'm just going to, it's really going with the throat today. I'm just going to, for you, Jay, and this is for anyone who's feeling out of alignment or who's like a little bit off center or like wondering what the heck is going on in their life. I'm going to just bring you into center. This is mind, body, spirit in alignment, okay? So that you are in your center. So just take a deep breath for me. When I work, I hear sound effects. So sometimes I weave these sound effects through the healing transmissions because it's a way to depict and present what I'm hearing. So for this sacred alignment, for bringing you into alignment with your higher self, there's a zinging sound, and it's like if you were to pull a bow, for example, like a bow and arrow, so that there's that twanging sound, and then it starts to settle into stillness as it's finished its oscillation. Take another deep breath. So this is like a course correction for you, Jay. This is a slight adjustment, a 0.001% adjustment in your being to bring you into that sacred alignment, for you to continue on the path of your spiritual evolution, for you to continue on the path of your spiritual awakening. And that tiny, tiny degree shift over the course of time creates a different trajectory, right? So just be aware, as people that don't resonate with that harmonic coherence will naturally fall away, and that's okay. Even if it's sad, allow yourself to feel the grief around that. But it's necessary for you to step into that higher path. It's necessary for you to step into the next chapter of your life that is that evolved being, that is that spiritually aware person, that is the person that has many gifts to share, right? Yeah. In that alignment. Bye, Al. Thanks for being here. In that alignment is your guidance. That guidance system is loud and clear. So that's what you're finding. You're tuning into the guidance, that internal guidance from your higher self, to walk a path that's in alignment with you, right? That's in alignment with your higher self. That's what's happening here. So learning to trust that guidance, right? Maybe you've received external input your whole life, and that's what's guided you before. Now the guidance is internal. That's what you're aligning with. Cool. You're welcome. I'm glad you feel better already, Maureen. I'm glad you all feel better. Anybody, I will say, if anybody wants to make a donation, I will put the link below. I do appreciate donations because it assists me to get the help I need to continue to generate this, because this is going larger and louder, and I can't do it alone. So, yeah, if you feel inspired, if you feel like you received some benefit, please do make a donation, and any donations are appreciated. Again, I want to sing out to Russell Rigsby, who gave a donation from the last live. And obviously, as this grows, things are going to change a little. I will do a number of lives to put it out there, and I'll get better at alerting people to when they're going to happen. But as it grows and expands, the opportunity to receive the individual focus may shift and change. So just want to acknowledge those of you who showed up today and who were courageous enough to speak about what you needed from the source of all creation. And Zara, I have a PayPal link that I'll put below. If you can, that's all I've got right now. I'll investigate other things, but that's what I've got right now. Again, getting the back end of this whole machine going is another story. But yeah, as is the expansion, because it's naturally expansive. That's the nature of consciousness, right? Is that it will expand. The individual focus will not always be available. So already my one-on-one sessions are dissipating and dissolving, and I've been doing that for 20 years, and they're less and less where my energy and focus are being. It's more about the group and the bigger picture. So again, thank you to the courageous souls who showed up today and received this healing, because when you heal, your healing affects everybody in your sphere of influence. It affects your family, it affects your loved ones, it affects your ancestors, it affects the whole planet. So I really appreciate you being courageous and showing up and being open to receive, right? And allowing me to be of service in this way. So thank you. And I'm just going to seal with 3 gongs. Take a lovely deep breath. Zara, you're very sweet. I do work with Mother Mary. Yes, I'll get the membership up and going, you guys. I need to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, so before I can do the membership thing. So that'll happen. And then I'll do a membership, and then I'll do privates and semi-privates and membership perks and things, and yeah, that's where it's going. Zara, I will say that in my own healing journey, I felt very strongly the presence of Mother Mary and the presence of Jesus and the presence of Mary Magdalene. Definitely, they've been with me on the path. And it's not just Christian deities either. There are many that are in alignment with the highest good. There are many that are working with the Legion of Light. Yeah? There are many beings that wish to be of service through me. So with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for trusting. Thank you for having the courage. Until next time, bless and so much love.